Okay, so let's start with futures and forwards because futures and forwards are very similar. I believe that I also said some things about futures and forwards when we saw the forex market. I think in the second partial. So maybe this can be only a review of what we already know. So what's futures and forwards are similar. Even here it says that because in futures and forwards, you have the obligation. It's a commitment. You can't say no, right? If you sign a forward or a future, you can't say no. You have to do whatever you are signing, right? In the option is different. We are going to learn that in the next week. But in the future and in the forward, you have to do it. That is very important. That's maybe the similarity between futures and forwards. So you sign that you will buy dollars, and no matter what happens, you will buy the dollars in the future. Uh, or you can buy or you can sell. We're going to learn that in a second. So uh, now I want to highlight the differences between futures and forwards. So there are four differences, and here I have the four differences in the presentation. First, remember that forwards are customized, that forwards are made to your needs, right? I gave you this analogy. I think that a forward is like buying a suit with a tailor, and a future is like buying a suit on a store like Zara or Hugo Boss or something like that. Because when you go and buy your suit in Zara or Hugo Boss, you only have some sizes of suits, right? And you get wherever fits you better. But with the tailor in the forward, they will do whatever you need. If you need a forward of $3, you can do it, right? In futures, it's not like that. I think that for futures, the quantity, the standard quantity is $10,000. I think that's one future. Then in forwards, another difference is that in forwards, you buy or sell forwards over the counter. What does this mean? Over the counter means outside of the market, because in futures, all all the futures are traded in a market. In this market is called in Mexico MEXDER, and in the US is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So if you want to buy or sell a future, you need to be in a market. But for forwards, no. You can buy or sell a forward in the bank or in the street or in your office or in your house. It's over the counter outside of the market. Then the third difference is that futures, or sorry, forwards have a very, very, very low risk level, right? Like some degree of risk, but it's very, very low. And with futures, there is no risk at all. Why is this? Well, because in futures, you need to pay a deposit, right? It's a deposit that you pay when you sign your position. When you sign that you will buy or sell, you will pay the deposit. So if there is a change on the value of your contract, they will take that change from your deposit. And if you lose your deposit, they will call you and they will ask you if you want to keep your position, you need to pay more deposit. If you don't have any money or you don't want to, they will close your position and they will take all of your deposit and give it to the counterpart, right? To the other person who has the other position. I will explain this with an exercise. I hope it becomes better. It becomes clear. This deposit is also called the margin. If you already know something about derivatives and futures and specific futures, uh, this is the margin. The margin is what the deposit that you paid at the beginning. And if you are losing your money, they will call you, the market, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or the MEX there, they will call you and they will say, you are losing your margin. Do you want to increase your margin? That call is the call for margin. Actually, right now it's not a call, it's more like a message on the computer because everything is more digital right now, but we still have the names from the 90s when it was a call. And finally, uh, well, that's the first difference, that in forwards you don't pay a deposit, right? It's you only sign and you wait until the end. So similar to what we did with the CIA. In the CIA, we didn't pay any deposit, we only waited until the end. So in the forward, you don't have to give anything. no money exchange until it's done. But there is very low risk that because there is no deposit, someone will escape and don't pay. But of course, it's illegal and you go to jail if you don't pay. So in theory, everyone should pay. In theory and in practice, I think that forwards are pretty safe. It's not there is not much risk of default. So it's there's still some level of risk, but it's very, very low. And in futures, you have to pay the deposit, but because of the deposit, there is zero chance of losing money, zero risk, right? So I think those are the differences between futures and forwards. And in the next video, I will start giving you an example with futures and forwards. And we are going to even do a very short exercise with futures and forwards, which I think will be useful for the next class when we are going to do an activity with futures and forwards.